Okay, so we are not dead again.
Yeah, no, definitely not dead.
We have guests. Say hello.
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 I'm Ren.
I'm Donna.
So, Ren and Donna, we've known you guys for how long now?
Like 4 or 5 years now.
Something like that.
Ages.
Yeah.
A little longer with you, Donna, because
Yeah.
we went to high school.
We
Ren, we
did.
met you in college.
Yep.
Got back in touch with Donna at college. And we all been playing Magic for a while.
Just a while.
Just a while.
Just a bit.
Yeah, so we have a couple questions for you guys. First one on the list is what got you guys into Magic?
Well, I had a friend that I played Yu-Gi-Oh! With, and he found Magic. We grossly misunderstood the rules,
That'll happen.
but we got into it.
Yeah.
I mean, as everyone does.
Oh, we thought damage stayed forever. We misunderstood it that bad.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
I could just see
it
that.
definitely changed how you played the game, though. I will tell you that. If you know Hearthstone, it's actually not that different from how we thought it worked to that.
Yeah, you guys were a little ahead of the curve on that.
Just a tad.
Ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Donna, how'd you get into Magic?
My brother, because he was in Boy Scouts, and there was this time where they got into the big Magic craze, and so my brother basically made me and our dad learn how to play Magic so we could all play. And that's how I got into Magic. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking Mana Burn, pretty sure Mana Burn was still a thing.
Oh, Mana Burn was a thing until I stopped playing Standard. It lasted
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
a
was,
nice long time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was
still miss
solidly
that.
in the Mana Burn.
Yeah, we had a similar situation to you, Donna, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was kind of the big thing. Was we got into it because of the anime that was going on, and then by proxy our parents got into it because they were like, hey, this is actually kind of fun. It was something we all could do together, so we kind of had a similar situation in that.
Like, we were trying to get my mom, for the longest time, we were trying to get my mom to play Magic, too.
Right.
Never
No.
happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually happens with moms.
Yeah. So going on to the second question, how long have you guys been playing Magic?
Besides the fact that Mana Burn was still a thing.
Eons. It feels like eons. Like,
If you could pinpoint it, maybe?
I can give you the sets I started playing. I don't remember when
works.
they came out.
That works.
I want to say it was around 05, 06, but the first actual cards I bought was Guild Pact, because I bought the Gruul deck.
That was about that time, I
yeah.
believe.
My friend had some of the Cold Snap and Kamigawa cards and decks.
mine was, I probably was about, 8 to 10 years old. Something like that. Because I can't give sets, because we always got the box, the giant, 1,000-card boxes of Magic cards.
Bulk box.
Yeah, the big bulk boxes. So, I think when the last sets that we had boxes for was, Time Spiral.
So what formats do you guys play?
Way back in the day, I did play Standard. Basically from Time Spiral to Alara,
Okay.
I believe it is. I always forget if Zendikar or Alara happened first. I believe Zendikar did. And then I started working at the Boy Scout camp, and I wasn't going to the LGS near me.
Mm.
And so it was like, I'm not going to keep buying these cards at that point. I'm just going to buy what sounds fun and play stuff with people I camp. And because those are the sets I like, currently I do play a bit of Modern and Commander. I don't really keep up with Standard.
Yeah, Standard can be a little...
Yeah,
I like the-
I looked into Standard, and I'm just I don't want to keep buying
Yeah,
every
no.
time Standard
Yeah.
goes out.
I like the idea and concept of Standard where basically every time a set comes out, you have to rework all your decks, you have to
Yeah.
build new decks essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas Modern, you can make one deck and then you just tweak it every time a set comes out.
Mhm.
And that's nice and everything, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't get as fresh of a deck making experience every,
Yeah.
4 months, 6 months, year.
Yeah,
So
something like
often.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They finally changed it back to how they originally had the rotation go. Because there was a little bit of up and down whenever it was the second visit to Zendikar onward and stuff like that. So it was sort of touch and go with that. Especially when they only introduced the 2-block cycle.
Yeah.
That was. I think that really kind of messed up the Standard thing for me, because I was just like, what is Standard now?
I never understood what Standard was. I relied on the people at the game shop to come up and tell me, yeah, that's not Standard.
Here's a land, put it...
Well, when I was young and playing Standard, I had like 75, 80 card decks. So I just took it out and it's like, okay, my deck's still illegal.
So you just throw it across the room.
Little me, it was basically like, would do the whole, this card's cool, put it into the deck.
Yeah.
Not take anything out, because why would I? I
Right.
just want to put new fun things in.
Yeah.
Changed a bit, but I mean, one of my favorite decks I play all the time, it's still like 75 cards, just because I can't stand to cut anything from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. I know you guys have mentioned Commander a little bit. What commanders do you guys have?
You want me to
I'd
start?
be
and
hysterical
you can-
after the
And
ensues.
you can list after?
Shh, go ahead.
I mean, because I have 3 main ones that I use. The
Okay.
others are sort of in pieces right now as I work on them.
Okay.
But I have Feldegriff,
Yep.
which it's been tweaked a lot because when my first commander deck, so I'm like, this is my baby. It's like my pride and joy. I'm never gonna take apart this. It would just evolve over time.
Right.
So it started out as banned piles of stuff I have in my boxes.
Photograph good stuff.
Not even good stuff. It was just stuff I
Feldegriff.
have.
Yeah.
Felder Griffin
Yeah.
friends.
Here's a
no,
pile.
That was my first commander deck as well.
And
I
then,
think that was all of ours.
and then as I got cards and got new ideas, Feldegriff sort of evolved, and now it's the Feldegriff Pillow Fort
As Felder Griff usually is.
Yeah.
with a bunch of fogs and a bunch of preventing combat damage.
Yep. Because, yay, flying purple hippo.
And then I have a Verdaloth the Ancient mono green tree folk.
Yeah,
Tree
that thing
folk
can
fun
get
stuff.
kind of dumb.
I'm assuming first-hand experience.
Sadly, yes.
I still remember one time we're playing, I look at it and I go, you know you could kill all of us right now, right?
Yeah. And we were like an hour and a half into this game. It's like we're all sitting there just doing nothing, and then Donna's over in the corner building a wall of trees.
Just
I
saplings everywhere.
oh,
I am Sweden. No, Switzerland. I'm Switzerland when we play Magic.
yes.
I am the one that just sits there, very neutral,
Until someone hits you.
just building this little thing. Everyone ignores me because they're like, oh, not a threat, and then I'm a threat, and then you can't deal with me.
Yeah.
You turn from Sweden to America and, like,
Yep.
And then there's Feldegriff, there's Verdaloth, and then I have a Chromat legendary deck, which is exactly what that sounds like.
Yep.
Basically, all the creatures in the deck are legendaries that I had, because my brother, back in the day, he made a 5-colored legendary deck. So he has a bunch of these old legendaries from Chronicles and Legends,
Yep.
and those. So I'm just like, I'll just take a bunch of these legends that I never use. I have this Chromat, pop them in the deck together, and it's a fun one.
Also, from first-hand experience, that thing can get out of hand.
Yeah.
Super Friends.
If you can ever actually get the right mana colors to
Make it
get
work.
it out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of time because all the creatures are pretty high cost because all legendaries from back in the day.
Of course, there would be high mana cost.
yeah.
Back in Legends where they thought, 6 mana for a 5/5
Was
vanilla
was fine.
was worthy of a legendary card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we know better.
I mean, that was just back in the day when they were growing.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I think it was because Legends and the whole set of Legendary, they were just like,
These are big deal.
here, we'll just
Take 'em
print
all.
things.
Yeah. Here's all the
Print it all!
here's all the gold things.
Make it all golden. Yes.
Shiny and not
Flavor
shiny, but
texts
still.
and-
Yeah.
I love the two legendaries in the deck that are just flavor texts.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like,
Yes.
okay.
Flavor.
What
Play this card
flavor?
with flavor. That's his ability. His ability is flavor.
Okay. Nothing more, nothing less. Just flavor.
All the flavor.
So those are your 3 commander decks then,
The
Donna?
main ones. I
Okay.
have on and off. I'll have a Giant Ballard deck.
She's
and then-
kind of good.
It's a shame you can't have Old Lady Jaya as your commander.
Yeah, and then
I've seen her do some work when she gets out of hand.
Oh, I love it. I love a Ballard. Put a nice old Grandma Ballard in that deck.
Yeah.
But then there's a Brea deck that's in sort of
Pieces.
kind of pieces, kind of not, because I take a lot of those artifacts and put them in other decks, so it's sort of in.
Hey, it's just pieces to a puzzle
Pieces,
that
yeah.
eventually make their way back.
And the Brea deck is also sort of, it has, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it, because the artifacts I was with was Mirrodin artifacts.
Some good ones.
That was the artifact set the sets that I knew was the Mirrodin, Fifth Dawn,
Darksteel.
yeah, Darksteel.
What's interesting is I somehow missed all of the artifact-heavy sets because I came in right after Mirrodin, and I left right before New Phyrexia.
Let's go.
See,
Oh, no.
I only knew Mirrodin for artifacts. I didn't play with the Alara block, and I didn't play with the New Phyrexia. Alright, so now your list of command decks.
Well, my first one was a Cedrus Grixis Things, I guess.
I mean, Grixis things is
I
fun.
just went through my cards. I pulled out all of the golden cards because I wanted to do a golden deck thing. I'm like,
Okay.
I have a lot of Grixis stuff here.
Throw
And
it
there's this
together.
one guy that blows up non-multicolored creatures every turn.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do this.
Yeah.
That was my first deck for Commander. It did surprisingly well. I have a few that do much better than they have any right of doing.
That'll happen.
But the three main ones I probably play is I have a Saskia token, sort of.
Monstrosities?
It leans towards tokens, but then I also just drop a few big things and punch people in the face.
Or as you
Normally like to say it as.
Well, no, that's my other deck.
no, Saskia is fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Saskia,
That's what I was trying to build towards, dude.
I was thinking you were going to go with stompy stuff.
No,
no,
that's
no.
another.
That's
thing.
another
But
one.
no, Saskia just straight.
Saskia, you just point at someone and you just go, fuck you, and you just run everything into them.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to build up towards.
I mean, I was gonna say Stompy is just Stompy.
Yeah, that's my other deck.
Yeah.
That's the deck that I want to take from you because
Yes, you
it could
hate
never,
that.
it could never see the light of day.
Yeah, because I have a Gulta. It's
Golta is fun.
probably one of my favorite commanders right now. Just because it's just big green shit.
Yeah.
And I like big green shit.
I mean,
I've always been a Gruul Naya style player. Like, when I played Alara, I built a Naya deck. Found it was a bit too inconsistent, dropped the white, so I went to Gruul. I found that I still couldn't get the red to hit everything, right? So I just made it pure green, and
okay.
it's like, okay.
Just punch.
See, you make it sound like it's okay, but then you Genesis Wave for like 40.
I
Yeah.
just
you have a
casually
lion-
Genesis Wave for 40 relatively
And then-
often,
And then-
okay?
And then you Myogen.
No big
and then
deal.
you dump the pile on the table.
Okay, so yes, I Genesis Wave for 40. I then tap all the creatures to make my Mossbridge Troll like a 45-45. I cast Rishkar's Expertise. I tap my Myogen to untap all my green permanents and just play everything in my hand.
But the
And then
Myogen-
hit
Myogen's
everyone in the
divinity
face
counter.
because I have a Chroma's Memorial. I am sorry. It happens.
The Myogen is the divinity counter.
Not, what's the, untap? It's the snake.
Yeah, the snake
The
one.
snake.
The snake offering person.
That
Yeah,
one.
because I could just tap that one, untap all green creatures, and go, well, here's the rest of my deck.
So basically, at the end of the day, you don't have a field, you have a pile of cards on the table.
What I do is I take my deck, I turn it upside down, lay it on the field,
And then
spread it out.
And then swing.
and then I have a Chroma's Memorial now, so I just swing.
And you swing and then everyone's dead.
And then I have a Joyra, the old Joyra. That's a interesting deck, because I also don't play that, like, if you want a competitive Joyra deck, because I don't run Eldrazi, and I don't run blow up literally everything on the board.
Because,
Yeah.
fuck that shit.
You gotta be
Because-
somewhat fair.
I have a weird sense of fairness, especially with commander decks that I'm playing for fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I was going tournament, maybe I'd do it. Still, I probably wouldn't. Basically, when I made that deck, I just went into the Gatherer, sorted everything by mana cost 7 or higher, and just pulled out everything that looked fun,
Fair enough.
and made it a deck.
Nice.
Big Stuff Deck Part 2.
Suspend is one of my favorite mechanics, so it's like, okay.
Yeah?
Sure. Suspend is. I never really got to play a lot of Suspend, but it looks fun.
Yeah, because I actually had one of the Future Sight pre-con decks where that was the thing, was Suspend.
Nice.
And it came things with like Shivan Meteor where it's like, oh, Suspend 1 for 3 mana, deal 13 damage to a creature. Okay, sure.
So, I think that's all the questions, although I have one that I know James and I were going to talk about a little bit, but since you guys are here, what's your thoughts on it if you've seen it? What are y'all's thoughts on the new Commander set that's going to be coming out?
I haven't seen too many cards of it. I've seen a few.
Okay.
Definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I have seen none of it. I haven't really looked at it.
Well,
Typically these people here will be all like, magic stuff. Look at it now.
You're not wrong.
I'm
No.
trying to figure out, because I saw, like, the descriptions of the decks, but then, and none of them seemed like a donate-style deck, but I keep seeing cards that are like, you know, there's that fancy gem, I forget what it's called, where it's like, when you cast it, you draw 3 cards, and it taps for, like, 3 mana. And then if anyone hits you, they get the gem, and they immediately draw 3 cards. And then there's a commander. Like, I don't know if it's commander or if it's just a because it's a Rakdos legendary.
Oh, the hold on. Zancha Sleeper Agent is the Rakdos one.
No, there's
Another one?
another one. I think where it's whenever it hits somebody, they get survivors.
Speaking of Zancha, real quick though, now that I brought it up, she is kind of funny.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, sure. Just basically boomerang her around the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like there's a few that seem like you want to be giving things to your opponents, but it's not in
So what
the normal
does-
colors for
What does
donating.
this one card do?
Zancha?
Yeah.
Zancha Sleeper Agent is a 3-mana 5/5. As she enters the battlefield, an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Zancha attacks each combat if able and can't attack its owner or planeswalkers its owner controls. You can pay 3. Zancha's control loses 2 life and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability.
Huh. So basically Zanja is kind of like Corona in a way.
In a way,
Not exactly, but in a way like Corona.
Yeah.
But to basically give you guys like a general idea as to what the decks are, it's red-blue artifacts, enchantments, Jund Landfall, and then
Enchantments.
Esper top deck, basically, is Esper top deck.
Speaking of enchantments, that I do have a 9 enchantment deck, and it runs Ural as the commander,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone
Oh,
gets scared of
yeah.
it, and then they realize I only have 1 aura in the deck. I only have 1 enchantment that can actually enchant Ural. It's just like, world enchantments sound fun. Let's just play world enchantments.
Yeah. Are we still trying to figure out that one Rakdos thing?
Yeah, I found the token. She might be pure red.
See, because I know there was the Trader Knight that was there also. Hold on. I forgot. Who do we know that has a fear of spiders?
That
That
one.
is totally me.
Okay, you're not gonna like Vantis, the War Weaver, then. It's a 5-mana 5/5 Vigilance Reach legendary creature
6
spider.
mana, Josh.
6 mana, excuse me. All creatures attack each combat if able. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Ventus the War Weaver.
What color is it?
Jund.
That means it won't be showing up in someone's spider deck,
Who has spiders?
Chris.
Cough, cough. So, but yeah, Varchel, Betrayer of Keldor. 3 mana for 3/3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates that many 1/1 red survivor creature tokens. Survivors your opponents control can't block, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. And whenever she leaves the battlefield, gain control of all survivors.
Yeah, it's like, how does that fit in any of the deck descriptions that they've announced?
About the only way I can think of is it's either going to be in Jund or
It's going to have to be in the Jund one.
it's going to have to be.
It's either Jund or artifacts.
It's going to be in
It
Jund.
can't be the artifact.
No.
That
It has nothing involving artifacts.
exactly.
I don't know. She herself seems pretty good, but in the
'Cause
strategy,
she is Rakdos, right?
no, she's mono red.
Mono red. Okay.
Yeah, 2 and a red.
Huh.
Legendary creature, human knight.
This is like,
It's weird.
you could definitely build a interesting deck around her.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it doesn't seem to mesh with the strategy I'm
But
thinking.
the land.
Lands matter, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so although getting back to some of the other ones, some of the planeswalkers are kind of interesting. Like there's Anamatsu, the Fate Shifter, 3 mana, 3
That's the
loyalty.
Esper one.
Yeah, the Esper one.
Huh.
White, blue, and a black. 3 mana, 3 loyalty. +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1, exile another target permanent you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. -6, choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Anamatsu, the Fate Shifter, controlled by the next player in the chosen direction.
So everyone shifts all their field to the right or the left.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's...
Interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me putting it nicely. I don't know how you would say it, Rin.
Sort of like a weird version of Shared Fate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going down the list of planeswalkers, next up is the Bant one. We got Estrid the Masked. 4 mana, 1 generic, 1 green, white, and blue for 3 loyalty. +2, untap each enchanted permanent you control. Neg 1, create a white aura enchantment token named Mask attached to another target permanent. The token has enchant permanent and totem armor.
Good old Tedmer.
And Neg 7, put the top 7 cards of your library into your graveyard. Return all non-aura enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then do the same for aura cards.
I've always been one where it's like, auras are interesting, but I like the normal, the world-based enchantments a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more
Because it
balanced, I would say.
Well, it is that the problem that it's going to have in Commander is you're not going to be able to keep them around because someone's going to play a Merciless Eviction.
Yeah.
Someone's going to play just any one of those 50 board wipes, and congratulations, all your auras are gone as well. It's one of the reasons why basically every single decent Voltron commanders, they use equipments over enchantments.
Yeah.
Because, there's still a bunch of artifact board wipes, but artifacts are easier to bring back, easier to mess around with, get onto the field,
They're more malleable than
I think-
enchantments.
And if they just blow up the creatures,
Oh, well.
they're still there. You can just replay your commander and re-equip them.
I think that's why Estrid's a thing, is to try and help fix that with enchantments, and I think it'll be okay.
The problem is, how often do you think you're really going to be able to alt her to bring them back?
Exactly.
Is what she started at?
3, and the first ability is +2.
Not
What's the
terrible.
alt number?
6, I
Six?
believe.
7. Next 7.
Still 2 turns.
Yeah.
You alt on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, depends on how many people you'd have and how many people that hate planeswalkers on the field. Because that's the thing in the group, is that none of us that planeswalkers stay in the field.
Yeah.
I've had Garuk stay on the field way longer than he had any right to.
Okay, that's because we want to target you and not Garuk.
Valid. But
You should still target Garuk.
it's Garuk just kind of sits there and he's like, okay, I untap 2 lands. All of a sudden, Garuk's at 7 loyalty.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got there.
Oh, hey, I'm just gonna dump truck somebody.
And it's okay, well, I overrode with Garuk, and now I Overwhelming Stampede.
Mhm.
And now we're just
then the
doing another-
Pathbreaker Ibex gets an Overwhelming Stampede.
And then we'll just do another overrun.
Then I actually cast over.
Yeah?
Alright, so the next 2.
The next 2 planeswalkers.
This one's Jund. It's Lord Windgrace. 2 generic, black, red, and green for a 5 loyalty planeswalker with a +2 of discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Neg 3 is return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then Neg 11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create 6 2/2 green cat warrior creature tokens with Forest Walk.
You know who I like better? Who? Jeddah Shannon of Ephorapa. Because he's mono green and he still creates the 2/2 cat warriors with Forest Walk whenever he swings.
Yes.
You're more likely to get him out of him than you are out of this guy.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
get some nasty card draw out of him. I will give him that.
Oh, yeah.
Fun to note, Lord Windgrace is also a cat.
Yeah.
Just for those that don't know. And then the other one, James?
Saheeli the Gifted.
We're getting another Saheeli.
Yay, Saheeli. 2 and blue and a red for 4 loyalty for a +1 ability of create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Another +1 of the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control as you cast it.
Pretty
Keyword there.
Pretty good.
And then next 7, for each artifact you control, create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile those tokens at the beginning of your next end step.
Okay. So we're
So
basically...
Healy's just going to town now.
So we're basically getting another version of Crazy Cat Lady combo, but with artifacts more so now.
Practically?
We're still getting it though.
You're not going to get the crazy
The cat
combo.
combo.
but-
No, not that combo specifically,
Well-
but you're still going to get combos regardless,
Yeah.
It would just have to be dependent upon how it's built.
and what you choose.
Because
Yeah.
the thing is, especially with her and stuff, it's not going to be easy to cheat her ult because she is blue-red. You don't...
Oh,
Yeah. You don't let
You
that...
don't, well, you also just don't have easy ways of increasing her loyalty in those colors.
Nope.
Unlike, if you're playing green, you just play a doubling season, you slap her down and immediately ult.
Yeah.
So those were the Planeswalker ones. Were there any other of the legendaries that you wanted to look at? Or?
I don't know about the legendaries, but I do know there's an artifact that one person in our group is going to love. Where it's, you can pay 3 to untap it, and it's like, you tap it to create a servo, and then you can tap it, pay like 2.
Oh,
And
Retrofitter Foundry. It's a 1 mana artifact, and it does most of those things that you were listing.
Yeah,
it's
like
3 and untap it, 2 tap, create a 1/1 artifact token.
I believe it's specifically a servo, because
Yes.
then you sacrifice the servo and pay 1 to create a Thopter.
Yep,
As you
with
tap
flying. And then
And then
tap
you can
it, sack
tap
the
it.
Thopter. It goes up in the order, kind of like that reform. Only for artifacts.
And we have a few people that play artifact decks that like to just untap all their stuff and generate ludicrous amounts of mana.
Me with Brea now. It's
I was
kind
thinking
of
more.
fun. I know
Sure.
other people, but yeah, I would like that in my deck, though. It'd be kind of good. But yeah, the other person that we know that plays artifacts.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
I still remember that he got me to play. He basically sat me down and is all like, "Play this deck." It was his Teferi Planeswalker
Yeah.
mono blue artifact deck. He was just like, "Play this deck. And you'll win if you just play this deck." And I played the deck and I won.
Speaking of Teferi,
No idea how to
that
play
was
it.
a deck I played for a couple times that had no right to win.
That
That deck had no right to win like 2/3 of the games I won with that.
Well, guess what? It still won.
So, if you're curious, this is a deck that one of my friends and I found on Tapped Out. It is, 95 lands?
Yeah.
Oh, the manliest manlands.
Manliest 95 lands you'll ever get.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just a combo deck where you try to control with lands until you can get Fathom Troll.
Yeah.
To get out all your other cards from the deck. And then you mana Severance all your stuff away. You play Laboratory Maniac, and you play Gataxian Probe, and you're drawn out.
Yep.
Like, that's the entire deck. But it's like you're playing Teferi, you're playing Mono Blue, and everyone's like, oh no, he's gonna counter all of our stuff. No, we gotta be careful and stuff. And then it's just like, you just go land.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You're gonna cast something? No, okay.
and then you get like stuff like you deal with Tabernacle and all that fun shit.
This
right?
is a deck I would love to actually have in paper, but because of 2 cards in the deck,
Tabernacle being one of them.
Tabernacle and the Bazaar, I'm never gonna actually get it. Because it's
Nice.
like $2,000 to build the deck, and it's literally
Because of
like
2 cards.
$1,800 of that is 2 cards.
that's insane.
1 second. Tabernacle.
Tabernacle, Pendervale.
It is quite a bit of money.
$1,600.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
it's
god.
more expensive than it was when I first looked at that deck.
Hold on. And then.
Because I want to say it was like $1,100 when I first looked.
Good old Magic, always making things expensive.
Hold on. And then Bazaar Baghdad's about $1,400.
Okay.
It's about $3,100 for just the 2 cards.
Just for some paper with pictures on them.
And you know what's really stupid about Bazaar? It's an uncommon.
What set was Bizarre from?
It was from Arabian Nights.
Okay.
Isn't this the
yeah.
same set that had Sorrow's Path as a rare? Or was that the dark? Because you tap it, deal 2 damage to everything you control, and then you can exchange blockers.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Is it the land one?
Yes, it's a land!
Oh, yeah.
Whenever it becomes tapped, you deal 2 damage to you and all creatures you control, and all it lets you do is exchange blockers.
Yeah, that's a pretty dumb one.
However, it is the result of one of the most interesting combos I've seen, where you just give your opponent a bunch of spirits
Mm-hmm.
using like the orchard and being able to untap it, and you make Sorrow's Path a creature, and then you cast Mirrorweave, I believe it is, which it's like 2 and 2 white or blue. And you make all creatures on the board copies of target creatures. You
Oh,
make
yeah.
everything
Yeah,
a
yeah,
copy
yeah.
of your Sorrow's Path creature.
Oh, God.
And then you tap all creatures on the board.
And then there's the whole thing, because apparently, reading this little article here, it says, and I quote, the last paragraph of it is that given Star Wars Path is run effectively indexed as an ideal giveaway card along with stuff like Donate, Bizarre Trader, Political Trickery, and Zedru the Great-Hearted, it clearly has some value at the table, given that it can't be worse than something like Malicious Advice, which is so bad no one plays it or remembers it exists. Star Wars Path is so bad it's good. But where are the defenders for Malicious Advice? End quote.
So
Star
Star Wars Path,
malicious advice.
And I quote,
The
it is an
point.
X, a blue, and a black from Plane Shift. Tap X artifacts, creatures, and or lands. You lose X life.
I could see taking damage as being useful, but I'm not sure how loss of life would be useful to you in anything like that.
exactly.
That's why it's like there's Star Wars Path bad, and then there's Malicious Advice bad.
I think Star Wars Path is basically the Sharknado of Commander cards. If you really think about it, it's so bad it's good. However, unlike Sharknado, Star Wars Path's only been printed once. Sharknado, they're on their third run.
No, I think they're more than that. More Sharknado movies than that.
Hang on.
It has more than it needs.
Yeah. Now, if you were to compare Star Wars Path to The Room, that's a different
Oh god,
story.
there's 6 of them. What the fuck?
Six
of them?
Sharknadoes?
So basically, the boat has
Yeah.
6 more Sharknadoes than it needs.
Yes.
Wow.
No, it has 5. The first one was acceptable,
Yeah, the 6th one's coming out.
but the other 5, no one needed and or...
I would also
Apparently
agree.
so.
Okay, so we don't get too far along in this sidetrack of all of
The
that.
Sharknadoes?
Yeah. Okay, this whole thing was supposed to be about Commander shenanigans, but we're just straight on shenanigans already, so...
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to talk about Commander?
if you want to talk about shenanigans, I'm like our resident Jimmy,
Yeah.
and I get along with our resident Johnny, and we come up with really, really dumb ideas. When we were at GP Hartford, we saw a card called TETRAVUS, and it got us to thinking. And we came up with the dumbest combo I have helped made, and we called it the USS TETRAVUS.
We have a Reddit post about this too, by the way,
Yes.
and we'll link it in the video description.
It is under our bad MTG combos.
Yes, it is a very bad MTG combo. But TETRAVUS, if you can read what its effect is real quick, because I don't want to get it wrong.
Very important that you get this right.
Yes.
Yes.
As like 3 of us are looking it up.
Because I know it does things on your
Got
upkeep.
it. Okay, 6-drop artifact creature, 1/1, with flying. When TETRAVUS comes into play, put 3 1/1 counters on it. During your upkeep, you may move each of those counters on or off TETRAVUS, regardless of who controls them. Counters that are removed become Tetravite tokens. Treat these tokens as 1/1 artifact creatures with flying. These creatures cannot have enchantments played on them and do not share any enchantments on TETRAVUS.
Here's the thing. When we looked it up, if I remember correctly, there was a ruling to this card where each taking them off and putting them on were each separate triggers, and you could do them both, if I remember correctly.
There are 4 rulings,
On Gatherer.
and I'm believing this is the one of them. However, there's the 4. So I'll
Okay,
just read
there's-
all of them. If the Tetravus is destroyed when the Tetravites are off the card, they are not destroyed, they are just orphaned. Any +1...
Orphan!
Yes,
I forgot about that!
it's the ruling.
Okay, so...
Number 2.
Yeah.
Any +1/+1 counter which is on this card can be turned into a Tetravite token. It does not care where the 1/1 counter came from.
That is actually very important to this bad combo.
Number 3. Only Tetravites from this specific Tetravus may be used for the ability. Ones from a different Tetravus can't. And then finally,
Christ.
this card now has 2 upkeep triggered abilities.
Yep.
Its controller chooses the order they are put on the stack.
Hooray,
And
upkeep.
thus, the order in which they resolve each upkeep.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, I was just gonna say we are just gonna link it in, but so you guys can just see the combo and what it can do.
Okay, but as a brief overview.
Yeah.
This is a Bant combo. You can run red into this as well to make it more effective.
Yep.
For various reasons.
Yep.
But essentially, you just run Doubling Season, Cather's Crusade.
Yep.
Any other token doubler you want as
And
well. and you take your upkeep. But what makes this really dumb is running Paradox Haze.
Yep.
Because you take your first upkeep, remove all of your 1/1 counters, you get a bunch of tokens. Well, they all hit the field, you get a bunch of 1/1 counters. Then you can slap them all back onto the guy, getting a bunch more 1/1 counters onto him. Then you take them all off again on your second upkeep, getting a bunch more 1/1 counters. Then you slap them all back on, and now you have a massive Tetravus. If you happen to have a copy of it, you can take them all off again and donate them to your opponent and have them do fun things if you want. Or if you want to be boring, you can just run Impact Tremors and just kill everyone by doing this 2 times. But that's boring.
You and Chris spent how long making that combo?
Honestly, it wasn't that long because we basically came up with this entire combo walking back from the
Convention
Center
Center
to our hotel.
Yeah.
We came up with this entire thing.
And that was like, what, a 5 to 10 minute walk?
Something like that.
So,
Not including the food run.
not including the
Which
food
is
run.
back to the hotel.
I think the longest part about it was you making the actual explanation thing for it, because you wanted it to be as in-depth as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Like-
to find out you guys did math wrong,
I
and were
did
able
math
to make
wrong.
more tokens.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we did math wrong, but it worked out for the better. Again, we'll have it linked in the description of this video, but the USS Tetravus is a living legend for us right now.
This is the same guy that I worked with to make a modern legal 4 horseman deck. If you want to, I have the deck list, I believe, on Tapped Out. You can link that.
Yep, we can do that.
It's interesting. I have stated if I was ever going to actually play Legacy, 4 Horsemen would probably be the one I'd play. And then get kicked out of every single tournament I ever go to.
Because apparently that has happened to some people. They're just like, oh, I'm going to go submit my deck list. It's like, okay. And then the judge looks it over. It's like, we need to talk to you outside for a moment.
I don't think it's exactly that they get kicked out, but as soon as anyone knows you're playing 4 Horsemen, they call the judge over.
It's like, can you play something else, please?
Because of how rules of slow play work, you will get called for slow play basically every time you run this deck.
Yeah. It's like, we're not even turn 2 in. It's like, judge, slow play. All right. We need to have like 7 judges monitor this so he doesn't fuck anything up.
You basically do not pass go, do not collect $200, basically take all the time in the world.
And then, oh wow, an Emrakul. Okay, so James, let's wrap this up real quick before it gets too much more out of hand.
Too much tonight. We don't want to
Too
overdose
much.
this
No.
shenanigans.
Do you guys have any final parting words?
One thing I might predict from just as an outside crazy prediction about Modern is if Hollow One keeps being popular, I could see in black decks, especially black aggressive decks, teching in Liliana's Caress.
Yeah?
I could see that.
I could see that. Because I run a black-blue rogue deck, and that has been, if I ever go to a Modern thing, and I'm expecting to run into that, I'm teching that card into my sideboard. 100%. Granted, I run really dumb things in sideboards a lot of the time, but I could see it happening.
Donna, do you have any parting words?
I mean, I'm just here to have fun.
You're here for you're
that's
here
why
for the
I'm-
shenanigans.
I'm here for the
I'm mostly here for
I'm here to play with friends and have fun times.
I'm the
conversations.
person that brought fire-breathing elemental combo to the GP.
And then Chris was the one that
And Chris
cups.
brought cups.
Cups is another legend.
It got
Like,
him
I
right gold.
bring functional but wacky. He just brought wacky.
Yeah, $30 wacky, mind you.
That-
Before
that-
the chalice of a foot.
that James lost to.
Yeah.
I played Mill against him at F&M and I lost.
You lost
It
to.
was the best
Fun fact.
It
That
was
happened
the fight
recently.
for last place, and I lost because fucking open the vault. Ah! But it was all fun. It was all fun.
all fun. Good times were had.
I had a 4-day weekend. I can't bitch. I had fun.
Okay, so in my case, kind of little late F&M wrap up on my thing. I got enough place points to get packs. I got 3 packs of M19. Okay, first pack was just a dud pack because all I got was a little rare enchantment. Second pack, I got Tezzeret. Third pack, I got Crucible of the Worlds in it. Nice. Yeah.
And then Jordan proceeded to promptly go and yell at you.
And
He's
wanted
like,
to
give
beat
me the
up.
Tezzeret!
And then also give me the Crucible. So, but let's really wrap this up, James. So where can they find us at? Again?
Yeah, as usual, brothers_MTG for our Twitter. We have our Facebook page you guys can go to. You can send us an email. We have a WordPress page, Magic the Brothering at wordpress.com. as to wrap things up, I'm James.
This is Josh for Magic the Brothering.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.